I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Beyond ATC.
The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, let's set the time of day during the daytime, because it's not fun to land in Madeira at night. I mean, it's fun, but we want to see the sights. Right, so welcome back to the Fenix A321 CEO. So this is the CFM engined Airbus A321 from Fenix, an acclaimed producer. We just had an update today, so hopefully nothing will be broken in this flight. Fenix just updated, and they added some stability, most of it for FS 2024, but they claim that some of that stability was also produced for the MSFS 2020. And I want to answer real quick someone that asked me, when will I return to MSFS 2024? Now, it's unfortunate, but I gave up on MSFS 2024 because of the bugs. So I'm not flying MS 2020 because I love it. It's just a more stable simulator than 2024. I've just noticed that my main screen isn't. I forgot to upload the image for this flight, but I'll update the ticket in a moment. So like I was saying, that's the reason why I'm in MFS 2020. So I don't want to fly bugs, and 2024 was full of bugs, so I just gave up on it until they fix it. Now, recently I've been monitoring current state, and it looks good, but I'm still waiting for service update 3 to make sure it is flying in flying conditions, that I don't have major bugs, performance issues, etc. So we'll get there. we'll get there soon. So let's prep our flight. You all know Fenix. We have a new feature, not from Fenix but beyond ATC. I've just upgraded to the experimental version, so I now have CPDLC. So we'll see that in motion if it does indeed work. So first of all, let's tap our Simbrief. We'll have a time warning, as you can see, because I've pulled time. So we are going to take off way before 2120 Zulu, which was the original time when I prepared my Simbrief, but it's okay. So let's go through the systems. First of all, let's load the aircraft. So let's prep the loading. Birding only. So we're going to load instant fuel, which is 15 tons, 700. Right, boarding requested. So now the passengers will load into the aircraft as well as cargo. Oh, look at that. The tug is inside the building. Don't mind that. It's just a glitch. No one's watching. So let's prep the flight. So first of all, let's turn on the batteries. Just love the sound of the spinning thingies. Spinning. External power. Plane will go into self-test mode. Self-test in progress. This is a cold and dark. It's a cold and dark status, which is not very frequent for most airliners. Most of the times, that's the first flight of the day. So, like in the morning, early morning, most of the times pilots just encounter the plane already energized, either by APU or a GPU. Most likely APU. GPU. And the idea is most of the times pilots just hop in, prepare the flight, and go out. They don't need to go through the whole powering up stuff. That's usually the maintenance guys that do it. They turn on the batteries and turn on the external power. So this sound we're hearing is GSX saying that the doors, the cargo doors and the main doors probably aren't being opened because there was no ground control. Now I've set it for them, and the doors will be open in a moment, so we'll stop hearing that beeping sound. Let's put on the ADIRS aligning. This is memory items. What's going on? Yeah, doors are open. It just takes a moment. Yeah. What is it saying? Oh, GSX has an update. Forward cargo. The cargo doors are open, buddy. Oh, they're. Yeah, what's going on? Why aren't they opening? Possible glitch. Let's turn on. They're not opening. I wonder why. That's odd. Switch on ground control again. Yeah, look at that. Doors aren't opening. Let's reset it here. It's possibly a bug here. Now they're opening. That was a strange bug. Of course, the doors should have been open before the ground vehicles connect to the aircraft, but you know, it's animations. No one's really bothered with that. Right, we're loading the crates instead of individual bags. It's always cool to see. This platform here is quite ingenious. It loads the pallets sideways, as you can see, and then turns them inside and sends it inside the plane. It's really cool. Anyway, let's carry on. So, prepping our flight, let's go for the FMGC. Primary loss because it's aligning INS, so let's go initiation, request initiation. You can also request it via data link, by the way. This is quicker. Alright, now the flight number is 222 Fox, if I'm not mistaken. Let's confirm. Yeah, correct. 22 Fox start. So let's go 22 Fox. Let's fill it in. Cost index 5. Well, I mean, instead of this, let's do it like we do it on the FS Labs. So go to A2, AOC, flight initiation, request. Flight number is not filled in like FS Labs. Let's see what it does. Right. So now, if you go to initiation, we should have. No, it doesn't. We don't have an option to load AOC data, which is odd. So what's the point in doing Ving data link, right? And FS Labs, this works a little bit better. So let's go A2, AOC, initiation. Do we have any option here? Nope, that's it. So request it again just in case we missed something. Nothing. Oh, alright. Alright, so now we should be able to request pre-departure clearance. We just need to listen to ATIS. So let's bring beyond ATC here. And let's tune in ATIS, this one. What's our gate?
Landing runway 27 right, 26 left. Departing runways 27
Can't see the gate number.
Transition level 05.
In the near future,
Initial contact information chart.
this gate doesn't even have VGSS. VDGS, I'm sorry.
Airport information chart. 2008
This is an old airport, by the way.
Temperature 17. 2.09. QNH 1027.
1027.
VFR conditions. Landing runways 27 right, 26 left. Departing runways 27 left, 26 right. Transition level 050. Advise on initial contact you have information Charlie.
Charlie. Alright. I
Charles
got
de Gaulle
Charlie.
Airport
Gate
information
number
chart.
now.
2008 Zulu. Wind 330 at 5. Temperature
What's the
17.
gate number?
2.09. QNH 1027.
Gate. What's
Landing
the
runway
gate?
27 right, 26 left.
Gate
Departing
Uniform
runway 27
14.
left, 26 right. Transition
Uniform
level
14.
050. Advise on initial contact you have information.
Alright. Let's see, I don't know what to put on station, to be honest.
Charles de Gaulle Airport information Charlie. 2008 Zulu. Wind 330 at 5. Temperature 17.
Alright,
2.09.
let's never mind that.
QNH 1027.
I already have
VFR conditions.
initiation
Landing
going
runway
on, so I
27
just
right,
need
26
to
left. Departing
cost
runway
index
27 left,
5.
26 right. Transition level 050.
Let's tune it clearance. And cruising flight level will be 330. Kinda low. But alright. Alright, so let's request winds aloft. Request it and go to the flight plan. Let's request clearance to the goal. Wind data uplinked. Let's request to the goal clearance to Madeira. The goal clearance, good afternoon, Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot, request clearance to Madeira. We have our auto respond for our co-pilot.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot, the goal delivery. Expect runway 27 left, Lego 6 Alpha departure. Initial climb to flight level 060. Squawk 4264.
I don't know why it insists on 27 instead of 26, but alright. Alright, our co-pilot will respond now. 24624. Set it on auto. Leave it on standby for now. So we're going to go for expect LGL6 Alpha. There it is. Do we have any transitions? No, doesn't appear we have any transitions. All right, start. So, what is this? So, some people ask me, people that are not aware of how to do this. We're basically just filling in the runway 27 left, and this PG, LGL6 Alpha is my standard instrument departure. So this is the what's in so the data is updated frequently given traffic, winds, weather. So these are like routes, pre-established aerial routes in and out of airports, and they are daily published, and and they're charted as well. I can show you exactly this one. So let's go chart the goal, start, and you should have LGL6 Alpha. So this is LGL6 Alpha. Actually, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 different departures, but the one that we want to follow, which is LGL6 Alpha, is basically this one. LGL6 Alpha, see? It's written right there. So the difference between all these is that they follow a certain path, but only one LGL6 Alpha goes directly to L'Aigle. So that's a VOR. As for the airport, we're parked in a very convenient position because runway 27 left is right there. So we're parked here at gate uniform 14, so we'll probably do something like this as a taxi and turn into the runway. So pretty quick. Just imagine if we were parked in November or Charlie here. It will take a moment to get there. So purely coincidental, by the way. I don't in the future, Simbrief plans to have ground control for our planning, so that'll be swell, but not yet. It's not there implemented, so it's purely coincidental. I mean, I know where this apron is, and I could have picked another one, but I honestly didn't know they would pick 27 left. You know, they could have easily picked 27, 26, for example. I don't know why it prefers 27. It's a longer runway to be sure, but so is 26 right. So they're practically the same length. I would prefer to go in a different runway, but every time I flew to Charles de Gaulle, in simulation, of course, I've always landed on either 27 left or not really 27 right. Mostly it was 27 left. So let's we have our fuel on board already. What about the passengers? What's going on with the passengers? Boarding passengers, but I don't see or hear passengers boarding. Is this locked for some reason? I mean, the gate is pushed into the aircraft. The doors are open, or are they? Let's confirm. Are the door open? Is the door? Yeah, the door is open. You know what? Because we had issues with the cargo doors, let's reset this. See if there's an issue with that door. It's being opened now, hopefully. Is it not? Nope, it's closed. Let's try again. Alright, now the door is definitely open by me. Do we have passengers? Let me confirm if we're no, we're not loading passengers. I wonder if it's the reason. The reason is this necessity to update almost daily. GSX has. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with you, GSX? You keep failing me all the freaking time. Don't know what to do, gentlemen. I may just skip this, but I need the mass and balance though. What do I do? Do I reset it all? It's gonna mess everything, isn't it? Let's do it again. Yeah, it's not looking good for GSX. It keeps doing these crazy... Hello, Mirsha. Keeps doing these crazy things with the loading. So I'm just going to load manually. Not ideal, but if GSX keeps failing, what can we do, right? So passengers, how many passengers are we boarding? It's always a miss for me because I never know where the passenger number is. We can go for fuel, so fuel block should be 15.7. So plan 15.7. As for cargo, oh my god. So where are the weights? So what is this? It's a bug. It's a weird bug. So weight times and weights. So we are going to have passengers 216, cargo 3.2. So payload, cargo, and fuel 15.7. Let me write that down. You know, this is much easier when you don't have to do this manually. It's the reason why we do it with GSX, right? Yeah, I need to reset. I don't know. So 15.7 fuel, 216 packs, cargo 3.2. So let's do this manually because so plant. Oh, look at that. What the heck? All right, boarding only. Let's see what load fuel instantly. All right. So jetway is in, or is it? No, it's not in. Come on, GSX. Boarding passengers now, but then nothing happens. So the cargo doors are opening again, but GSX just doesn't care. Should I reset it? I mean, what the heck, Virtuali? Can't you just fix your crap? Every single flight I have an issue with GSX, whatever it is. Honestly, when you're bad at something, like you don't fly that well, you land wrongly or whatever, that's your fault. But when it's software, come on. It bums me a lot. Request boarding. Whatever. Alright, here come the cargo again. It's gonna take a mile. What is it going? What the heck? It's probably gonna pick up crates. That's what it's doing. With this, we have delayed our flight by quite some time. Fortunately, we're way above schedule. I wonder if the reason is this gate, because it is a weird looking gate. No. I still don't hear passengers being loaded in. I mean, I understand this airport is funky at best. This is a very old Charles de Gaulle airport I had for Prepare 3D, and I converted it to MSFS, but apparently it's not working well. I mean, sometimes the gates are here, sometimes they're not. It's weird. Sometimes planes are parked in a very weird way. For example, that A319 is parked in where an Airbus A380 is. I mean, I'm not really in a good position either. Oh well, let's see if passengers are loading. No, they're not loading. You know what? I'm gonna do something really quick. I don't usually do this, but I really need this to work. So bear with me. I mean, the cargo is loading. Why aren't the passengers loading too? It's very, very weird. All right, let me try something. If it blows, it blows. If it blows, it's not because I want it to blow. Just be sure of that. All right, I'm doing it now, so you hear the GSX just quit. Let's see if it does this. If it doesn't do it, I'll just load manually. I already have the data here. No, I can't do it. Damn it. Alright, so I'm going to load manually. Again. So planned passengers 216. Not a full plane. Planned cargo is 3.2. Not much. It's a long flight anyway. 15.7. Yeah, come on. 15 points. There we go. So applied and load. Instant. Let's not wait any further. Alright. So plane aircraft's loaded. We will not have GSX for this part of the flight. My apologies. Hopefully in our destination we'll have it. Alright, we're fully ready. Let's prep our plane for pushback. Fortunately, we can do it without GSX using Fenix. We have this pretty ingenious tool here to perform the pushback. But first of all, let's start our APU. It's unfortunate because with the new version for Beyond ATC, it now connects to GSX and tells it when it's ready to load. So yeah, and for pushback, I believe, or it's the other way around. Maybe it's just for the pushback. So let's start our APU. Flap is open. Starting. Let's turn on our wing lights. On auto. Let's go for the before start checklist. Cockpit preparations, pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity is 15.7. Confirm. Seatbelts signs are on. ADIRs are on nav, and barrel reference 1027 and cross check. Now cockpit preparation checklist complete. Before start checklist. Parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds. Let's go for the takeoff speeds. So departure, sync load sheet, sync weather, calculate. That's as easy as that. 163, 173, 173, flaps 2 up, trim 1.1, and our transition altitude is 5,000 feet, and we got our stop margin there, 682 feet. All right, let's send this to the MCDU. Let's go for the performance, and it's up here. Let's go for the initiation as well. And let's confirm our data. So now that the plane is loaded, we can easily just come down here, and we can do it two different ways. We can set it manually, writing this down. So 69.67 to 26.8 plus fuel 15.7. We can add this manually, or we can just do this. Send to MCDU and bam, right there. So quite easy to do it. I prefer to do it manually because at last minute you might have some changes in cargo or in passenger number, but Fenix doesn't simulate that. We just get what we get. All right, so doors are closed. We are ready for everything, pushback and all that. The EPU bleed is on. Let's turn off our ground stuff because the guys aren't even there. And yeah, let's call it in. Request push and start.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot at gate uniform 14. Request pushback.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot, the goal ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northwest.
All right, let's see if it communicates with our ground crew.
Pushback approved.
What am I saying? GSX has been reset. Of course it won't. All right, let's start our push. Face northwest, which is our right side. Oh, no, on the left side. All right, let's go back. Let's start our engines. Start.
All aircraft be advised information echo now current QNH1027.
Start number 1. I have to pay attention to my taxi. That lone marshal guy is just looking. Alright, let's start our turn here. Bam. So tail to the right. Sorry, tail to the left, nose to the right. Alright, let's stop here. It's going to be crooked, but no one's watching. Set. Stopped. Set parking brake. Disconnect. Let's start number 2. Yeah, it's very crooked. I'm not a pushback guy. You probably need to decelerate a little bit when you come closer, but it's enough for me to make the turn. I mean, you can thank GSX for failing. I talk about software like it's the person, right? And it is what it is. I mean, once you have everything set up and you just want to, make things right, it's a pain in the rear end that stuff doesn't work. Did it unload my... Oh. Alrighty. For a moment there, I thought by pressing load the Simbrief that it would delete all the cargo and passengers. Fortunately, it did not. Right, both engines are a go. At this point, we would ask for removing the pin and all that, but since we don't have any ground crew, I'm going to perform an after start checklist real quick. So after start checklist, NTIS not required, ecom status normal. Pitch trim, let's set 1.1. 1.1 set. That was really quick. It's right here. And rudder trim set to neutral, which is after start checklist complete. Let's perform our flight controls check. Full deflection left, neutral. Full deflection right, neutral. Pitch up, neutral. Pitch down, neutral. Full rudder left, neutral, full rudder right, and neutral. Flight controls have been checked. Alright, let's request taxi for the active.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot, request taxi.
It's turning on my track IR.
22 Foxtrot, runway 27 left taxi via Alpha, Quebec Bravo 2, Quebec Delta 2, Quebec 4.
Whew, I need my ground map here.
Runway 27 left taxi via Alpha, Quebec Bravo 2, Quebec Delta 2, Quebec 4, Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot.
Alright. A lot of taxiways to memorize. So we're going through Alpha, which is this one, direct to Quebec. So final turn to the right. So all these Quebecs to Quebec 4, and then in for the runway. So this is the route we'll be making. Where's the pen? What could be? So we're going to make this route here. Oops. So we're going to make this route here. Quebec 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right there. So let's do it. Let's turn off the pen. Let's do it. Parking brake off. Taxi light on. Oh, we didn't turn on all these systems here. Let's turn. What are you doing, John? How are you, Marcia? Did I see you today? Probably did. I'm sorry if we talked already today. So this is Alpha, and we're following the pre-designated path. I've been to Charles de Gaulle, and I think this airport is just gigantic. I mean, it's not as big as... Yes, thank you, Misha. Thank you, co-pilot Misha. I will not forget now. And if I do, please remind me. So, like I was saying, I think Charles de Gaulle is really huge. I've been to Schiphol. Schiphol, once I was in Schiphol, and we did like a 25-minute taxi. No joke. Don't know if there was an issue with the parking spaces, but it just took an awful lot of time. But nothing like Charles de Gaulle. It really is a huge airport. All right, let's perform our taxi checklists. So flight control, they have been checked. Flaps set to. Ground spoilers to armed. Let's go a little to the left here. I need my co-pilot to do this stuff. Radar weather prediction to set to auto. System to 1. Engine mode selector set to normal. Will set to ignition on take. Well, not today. It's not necessary. Heatcam memo status. Our goal is to have no blue. Our cabin is ready. We'll reply back, and let's press takeoff config. Heatcam status no blue. Taxi checklist complete. So now let's go back to our chart. So we are going to go all the way down here till Quebec 4. So this is Quebec 2, Quebec to Bravo 2. That's how we know when to turn. So these yellow paints right there. So this is Quebec 2. This is Quebec 3, and that's Quebec 4 right there. Yeah, I think I've been to Charles de Gaulle even before that, and it was already big, a huge airport. I think it's not the biggest airport in Europe, but it's one of the biggest ones for sure. Actually, this one's Quebec too, so That's Quebec 3 and then Quebec 4. No entry, so this is a closed taxiway. So that's why it says no entry. When it has a cross, that's a non-functional taxiway. There are a lot of reasons for taxiways to be shut, most due to traffic flow. So if this taxiway is not used, then frequently, then they just close it. And because these taxiways require a lot of maintenance, so that's not it. So this is Yankee 6. Let's carry on. So like I was saying, since these taxiways require a lot of maintenance to make sure the tarmac is in good condition, they just prefer, that's Quebec 2 right there. So it's a sign on the floor. They'll just prefer to shut it down. So if it was barely used, why maintain it? And if it's not maintained, you can allow a plane to go into that and just have their wheels stuck into some hole, some pothole. Yes, there is a train, Misha. It's not the only airport with the train. Heathrow, I believe. No, I did take like a metro in Heathrow, and I believe there are other airports with metro stations. It's useful. Quebec 3, so that's the final one on the left. Weather is looking okay-ish. As you know, there's a lot of bad weather in Central Europe right now. That's
Portugal 22 Foxtrot. Contact the Gold Tower 119.25.
119.25.
Contact Tower 119.25. Airport
So we no
22
longer do this.
Foxtrot.
Let's go back to the... Alright, let's prep our systems to go. Let's go back 4. So we're not going to call the tower yet because we want to make a final check. So this is the IMC stopping point, and that's the VFR stopping point. Usually when it's KFOG, weather okay, you stop here. If it's bad weather, low visibility, you stop on the previous one. Alright, let's stop here. And now you request your permission to enter the runway. So we got our radar on. Let's light up the stuff a little bit. We got everything ready. I didn't get to use CPDLC so you guys could see this panel working, but we'll get to that. So let's do the lineup checklist. Takeoff runway 27 left. Both pilots should have confirmed. TCAS is set to TIRA and auto. Packs 1 and 2 are on for this departure. Lineup checklist complete. Let's call it in.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot. Holding short. Runway 27 left.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot, the Gold Tower, wind 320 at 5 runway 27
Let's go.
left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 27 left. Cleared for takeoff. Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot.
I love the sound of this Fenix A320. They really did a good job with the sound. So we got a big runway. We don't need to really line up on the numbers. We can just follow this yellow line here. The less we step on the numbers, the better, because we want to make this pretty clear for every airborne aircraft. If we start putting our skid marks in, it will eventually just obscure them. Alright, we're fully ready. Let's set up. Misha, I set the clock. Rolling takeoff. That's just the way I like it. %. Man flex. Thrust is set. Airspeed alive. It's a heavy plane today. We got an ECAM status For some reason, it's the landing checklist. That's not good. We got V1 and rotate. Brakes applied, gear up. Yeah, gear not down. See that? That's a, I believe that's a bug. And we can't just make it quiet. Let's just, I got a transponder. What are you talking about?
Squawk 4264.
Four, two, oh, crap. My bad. 4264. My bad. Speed check flaps 1. You saw that. That was it was in takeoff configuration, and the ECAM status. Let's set thrust to lever to climb. For some reason during takeoff roll, speed check flaps up. Beacon wasn't on. I need a co-pilot. Let's go back to our charts. So here we are following this long flight plan here. 1027, copy. So like I was saying, during the takeoff roll, we had an ECAM status no blue for takeoff, but for some reason it switched to landing. I've read something about that. I'm not entirely sure where, but during the flight I'll take a look at it. But to me it sounded like a bug. But then I remembered something about the Airbus, the way the Airbus works. With all the direct laws and all the laws actually. Alright, let's go here to our company message. Yeah, a lot of load sheets. Yeah, we need to check one by one. Sorry about that. So all the times I tried to load the plane with GSX and it was miserably failing. It's funny because today I had this warm chat with some guy when I said that GSX has a lot. Let's go to standard. Mid-click, alright. I was telling them that this guy, that GSX has a lot of issues, and the guy said, no, it just works fine for me. Well, you just saw that. GSX just didn't want to comply. Let's turn on our constraints. Lots of stuff missing because of GSX. I got distracted. Nothing serious. So we are cleared for flight level 160, by the way. Just need to climb up there. The reason for GSX failure could be that it requires an update. You can see here it says it's outdated. This is very, very, I mean, I understand that these things need to get updated for sure, but I'm getting like daily updates from GSX. And today, in the mid-afternoon, when I created my flight for tonight, there was no update. So they launched it after, because I updated a lot of different systems this evening. But speaking of updating, is the flight being updated up ahead? It's not, isn't it? Or is it? Yes, it's updated. All right. So passing 10,000 feet and passing 10,000 feet. All right. So let's turn off our landing lights. Plane is accelerating as expected. Let's take a look outside. So this is still main city Paris behind us. Flying over France. Weather is okay. It's not bad. It's not a lot of winds, because that's the worst part of when there's weather anywhere. So this is the Fenix A321 CEO. This one has wingtip fences, not winglets, not sharklets. But it's still a wonderful plane to fly. Fenix did a great job with these planes, to be honest. It's one of my favorite means of transportation in flight simulation. It's really cool. This is an official paint for TAP Air Portugal. Pedro Vaz de Caminha, that's the name of the plane. And this is Charlie Sierra Tango Juliet Echo. You can see the outflow valve is closed, as it should. It's pressurizing the plane. It's really a really well developed plane. But if you want to fly the Neo, Fenix doesn't have one yet. They're thinking about developing one. Let's switch stations here.
Center on 125.7. Air Portugal
125.7. 125.7.
Control. Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot. Crossing flight level 136 for flight level 160.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot, Paris Control, good day. Identified, climb to flight level 330.
330.
Climb to flight level 330.
So
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot.
we are here following our little flight plan to the last point, which is LGL VOR to our left. We're still not picking it up because there's a closer one here. But as soon as we turn in, we'll probably start picking up that last VOR. It's irrelevant because we're treating as a waypoint. But if you do want to navigate with VORs, you can, of course. You just switch to this little knob here, tune in your VOR station, and you're good to go. You do that here, by the way, on the nav. This button right here, which is covered, by the way, I don't know if you can see it. Because the flight plan is followed by the FMC data, so you don't want to override that. But if you want to override, you just press nav. This little triangle will illuminate, meaning that you're controlling the nav radio, and you can tune in the station. So in theory, this is a 3.5 hour, maybe more, 3 hours and 40 minutes flight to Madeira. So right here, it's 1,425 nautical miles, but I will accelerate time in a moment, so you guys don't have to endure that long of a flight. So hopefully we'll get there in about an hour, maybe less. We'll see. It all depends if I manage to accelerate time in due time. In fact, let's just do that now. Let's accelerate to 4 times. I mean, the flight should be uneventful. Oh, by the way, we're not crossing Portugal. We're going above Spain, so we're probably going to, well, I'll show you on the charts. So we can go back to route. So this is the first initial turn in to southwest. But now look at this. We're just going to cross the very tip of Porto, but we will be on Lisbon FIR. I don't know why it makes this turn here, It's probably a corridor to avoid these no-fly zones. It's just another handover.
Center on 119.825. Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot.
There it goes.
Paris Control, Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot. To flight level 226 for flight level 330.
Portugal 22 Foxtrot. Paris Control. Radar contact.
There it is. I was looking to remove that. Because you know me, I'm a very pedantic guy. I like to do this. Because of the sun, you know. So, coming back to that initial issue. So, yeah, I don't know, Mirsha. As you can see, it's avoiding coming down here in a direct route. This is what you would expect going to Madeira. So you'd expect something like a direct line, but it's going like doing this. Instead of going south, it just goes southwest, and then instead of going down here through Lisbon direct to Madeira, which is pretty much a straight line, it just does this. This is a route created by Simbrief, and I'm not sure. I mean, I can understand it's avoiding these no-fly zones here. These are military no-fly zones, but they're fairly low. So this one is 5,000 feet. Yeah, I mean, you can cross them at above that altitude. Flight level 350. So yeah, my flight is going 330, so I will not be able to cross this one. Flight level 350 has a ceiling, but not these. I mean, these are fairly low. Flight level 300. So I could have crossed this, I think. Oh, flight level 500. Oh my! What are they doing here? Launching rockets or something? Yeah, that deviation is understandable. But the other one, I mean, you could avoid that completely if you came by south through Lisbon. So we're reaching our top of climb. Let's turn off our seat belts. So we are already with Brest, which is this area here. So we'll be leaving France in a matter of minutes. We're at cruise altitude, looking good. We got, again, nose wind. When will I ever get tailwind? I need to fly the Atlantic to get some proper tailwind. I once flew out of, I don't remember if I flew from Lisbon to New York or the other way around. I know I was over the Atlantic. Let me turn off time acceleration so it can level off correctly, and then I'll turn it on again. Just a moment. Once it levels off, I'll turn it back on. Right, it's leveled. Let's turn it back on. All right. So like I was saying, I flew over the Atlantic and I had 100 knots tailwind. It was the fastest I ever had. I believe I was flying to North America. Don't remember exactly, but it was awfully fast. Not Concorde fast, but still fast. So here we are, flight level 330. We're having trouble keeping altitude. I don't think we can go 4 times the speed because it will constantly be going up and down. I mean, the winds are crazy here, 73 knots from the right. In fact, we're getting some turbulence, so I think our passengers need to go back to their seats.
Air Portugal 22 Foxtrot, breast control identified.
We'll just do 2 times speed, see if it can keep up. And I'll turn off my track IR for now. So, what were we talking about? Oh well, don't remember. Anyway, it's still not happy with 2 times acceleration. The wings are very strong. So when we are in an Airbus and we are performing the takeoff roll, we'll have the takeoff ECAM status. So it's like a checklist for takeoff. It includes cabin ready, flap position, blah blah blah. During the takeoff roll, you want to keep the ECAM memo on because, you know, if there's an issue, it will pop up and will tell you something went wrong. Like, let's say the flaps don't stay in position, you'll get a notification prior to the ECAM warning. During our takeoff roll, however, it switched from takeoff status to landing status. I remember reading about a real-life issue, if you want to call it an issue, where that happened. And when it happened to me right now, I thought, well, this is a bug. And it probably is a bug. It just didn't detect weight. It probably detected a weight on wheels. I don't know. It's probably a bug, but I do remember reading about an issue with a real-life Airbus where that happened. Since we have some time, I'll try to search it online, because that actually generated an accident. I don't think it was fatal, but the pilots mistook what was going on. In my case, I just had a gear not down warning, which is stupid if you're taking off, you know. You're supposed to pull your gear up. And the worst thing, the worst thing about that is because you're in a very stressful moment. You're taking off and you hear the cavalry charge, and you hear the warning. So you're thinking, what the heck did I do wrong? I'm just taking off here. When you look down to the ECAM status, you see that it's stating landing. It's listing the landing checklist for some reason. There's a reason for that, and I'll search for it in a moment. As soon as I'm sure this plane won't fall from the sky. All right, seems that it's stable on 2 times. Let's see if it goes 4 times. Still a lot of wind though. Yeah, look at that. My VS indicator will go up and down, especially in the turns. See, it loses a lot of feet. Let's see, if it doesn't stabilize, I'll go back to 2 times, unfortunately, but that will increase our streaming time, but it's better that than to lose the flight, right? Alright, looks steady enough. Seems that it's enjoying flying 4 times for now. Alright, let me search for that ECAM status. It's gonna be trickier to find it. There's a mentor pilot, I think it was Mentor, either Mentor or some YouTube channel other than Mentor that addressed that particular issue. So what I had during my takeoff roll already happened in real life, and there's a perfectly okay explanation for that. So it's basically like a situation on weight on wheels. The plane probably detected that it took off momentarily and then came back down, even if it's just runway bumping, and that could trigger the ECAM landing status. I think that's the gist of it. But yeah, it did happen in real life, and it provoked an incident, not fatal, I think, on a real life Airbus. But still, I honestly think in my case, either that runway was uneven and the plane just had trouble keeping up, or that was a bug. Given the fact that today we already had GSX failing on us, I would say that's a bug. Yet another one. Just remember, Fenix updated today, so there could be an issue with the with this particular update. Hopefully not. So where are we? Already in the mid-ocean?
Center on 124.725. Air Portugal 225.
This is the Atlantic Ocean, although we're above Spain right now.
Breast control. Air Portugal 225.
You can see all these weird corridors between the French area of operations and this interception points. This is where Madrid FIR begins. So these corridors will send over to Madrid, and they're very restrictive as far as I understand. They're mostly low level, I think. So 1905, 1905, mid-level, not low. So they're very, it is, I think these are military lanes, not sure. But there are a lot of them in France, by the way. See, this one, for example, is from ground to unlimited, and only the French airspace, at least in Europe, have these. They look really cool on paper, but as you can see, we're totally ignoring them. So again, these are, whatever is red on a flight plan is a restriction. So this is probably a restricted airspace, or restricted lane if you want. Actually, they're not low level. So this one I said was flight level 105, but it's from flight level 105 to unlimited. Remember, somewhere here there's also where they launched the rocket. I don't think they launched the big ones, but I think they launched rockets from somewhere in this place. Plus, it's a military exercise area for sure. That one we're avoiding in Portugal is definitely a military exercise area. We're just not seeing it right now because Navigraph. But trust me, there's a no-fly zone here. All right. So we're making good progress with 4 times speed. Let's just check the altitude. Yeah, pretty steady. So like I promised, we won't be here for 3 hours and 50 minutes. We'll do that much less than that. In flight, in game, we're already at 1 hour flight, and we didn't do that 1 hour. What time are we in? Probably